Whew. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of making this video in the dark for posterity. Yeah, I'm driving, but I'm keeping my eyes on the road. I'm good. I quit Frito-Lay today. I've never really done that before. Just walked out of a job. And I'm terrified. It's really wild. And yet, I know it's the right thing to do, which is wild. It is the right thing to do. This job has been absolutely miserable. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm a hard worker. I don't leave things unfinished. You know, I've talked to multiple people that I respect in that company, and they all understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have enthusiasm. I've encountered enthusiasm. And my partner, Juan, is a great guy. You know, I told him, I said, the only thing I'm really concerned about is disappointing guys like you, like Sylvester, like the people who train me. I have worked multiple 60-hour weeks. I've worked 9 days in a row. Like the RSA position at FedEx. I mean, at FedEx, that place sucks too, but that's a whole different thing. Ground, anyway. I hear FedEx Express is actually not bad because it's like FedEx proper. FedEx Ground is all contractors and sucks ass because you just get taken advantage of, basically. Anyway. Frito-Lay, for those who don't know, when you start, they put you in a position called RSA. And it's like, I don't know, regional sales associate or something. You're basically a coverage guy. You're low seniority. You know, and they're very upfront with what the job is. Like, it's tough, you know, it's a trial by fire. You know, all the corporate stuff they always say to you when you start somewhere corporate. No, it's not for everybody. I'm like, it's not for anybody. It is the worst onboarding process I have ever experienced. It is just absolute brutality, right? When you first start, you shift every week because there's always somebody different taking vacation. So you are constantly shifting every week, which means your days off shift too. So that can work out. Sometimes it works out great. You get like 3 days off in a row. You know, you get, you know, good days off, like a Saturday, Sunday, you know, or a Friday, Saturday, or no, not Friday, Saturday. They don't have that. They have Thursday, Friday. I didn't actually mind Thursday, Friday because that was like, you'd come in, your Monday is Saturday, and like, you know, it's pretty chill on Saturdays, at least on small format, so you have two different kinds of routes, right? You have what's called small format and large format. Small format is like gas stations and like small liquor stores, things like that. Pretty choice, honestly, because you're just working with a small amount of product comparatively, and but you have like a lot of stops. Like, it's not like easier, I don't think, but it is a much less strenuous. Physically, it's less strenuous than what is called the bulk route, which is what I've been on for the last almost 2 months. I have to assume the reason why they left me on the route is because they needed somebody reliable for this bulk route. And also, this other guy they asked to do it just flat out refused, who's also a brand new employee. So I'm like, how the heck does he have the ability to just say, nah, I don't want to do it? And they're like, oh, okay, Jared, you're going to do it. I was like, wait a minute, why does he get to say no? You know what I mean? I'm not usually that guy, but they really screwed me on it. Like, this bulk route was devastated. It looked like trash. All the people who run the stores, the Safeway, the Walmart was pretty cool. Smart & Final was pretty cool. The Safeway was a nightmare every day. There was this receiver named Wendy who was a terror. Everybody hated her. She was rude and sarcastic and just incredibly shitty all the time. Like, all the time. Just the worst, most unprofessional person I have ever encountered. You know, snide and rude and just trying to make everything as miserable a process as possible, right? And I mean, she's gonna probably think, oh wow, I got him to quit. It's like, nah, you were certainly in there as like a yet another thing that was awful about the job. Like, yeah, there's no denying that you're just a terrible, awful person with no joy in your heart, clearly, because you just inflict your misery on everybody else. And every person I've talked to, including the people she works with, are just like, oh, it's just a nightmare to work with her. She's the worst. And I'm like, how does Safeway tolerate a person like that in their receiving dock? I don't get it. But she's awful. So, yeah, there's definitely, like, stress and strain that comes from dealing with her. But it is so far from the only thing. It is, like, just another thing, right? Like, you know, the shifting goalposts, I think, is the hardest thing. Was the hardest thing. Because I'm free now. Yay. The shifting goalposts, you know, the expectations. They try to tell you they're going to set clear expectations, and then they just change their mind. Like, I'll give you a perfect for example. You know, it's the Super Bowl, right? And obviously that's an incredibly busy time for chips. But like, oh wow, super bad accident up here, I guess. It's a really bad time for a really busy time rather for chips. But like, you know, the Walmart that I had, sorry, I'm a little distracted. Traffic got really thick. I think there's a really, really bad accident up here. My goodness. Holy cow. Wow, it looks like both of the right lanes are blocked. That's a really bad deal. Man, I hope these people are okay. Oof. Yeah, that's a bad one. Anyway, so weeks ago, we went around with our Super Bowl displays, our product. We had the expectation of like, yeah, we're going to set up these displays. We're going to, you know, sell chips so that people have their chips for the Super Bowl. And, you know, leading up to this, again, I'm sorry, I'm kind of distracted. Leading up to the Super Bowl, as you can imagine, we're trying to pump the stores up. And I mean, you know, I'm brand new. I'm not the greatest at it. I'm like trying to figure things out. And obviously there's just so much. I walked onto a route and it was just a complete mess. It was the guy who ran the route before, he moved on to some other thing, and they kind of just dropped this route in my lap that was, he did not have good relationships, let's say, with the people in the stores. So when I walked in, and it's their right to just kind of expect that things are going to be done properly. Like, they don't have time to care about, like, all the little things, right? Like, things just have to be done. And I understand that. You know, I've been a manager. I get it. Like, it's like, I don't care what your story is, just get it done. I get that. But it's also deeply unhelpful when I need information and that's their attitude. You know, it's like, I can't do the thing unless you kind of help me out with this. I need help. I need your feedback. I need your input. On top of that, it's a pretty strenuous job on bulk. You only get like 3 stops, but man, they just load you down with product. It's so much stuff. It's a Walmart, a Safeway, and a Smart & Final. They are basically like bulk stores. They're like, you just get a ton of product. You get 3, 4, 5 times as much as a small format route. And that's just all kinds of product going through your arms all day. You know, I'm putting in, bare minimum, I'm putting in like 10-hour days. So often it's 12 to 13. You know, before I decided, there you go, man, go ahead. Before I decided several weeks ago that I needed to kind of tone it down with the amount of work I was doing. I was putting in 60-hour work weeks. I was just burning myself to like death. It was brutal. And I just was like, yeah, okay, well, I'm not gonna do this anymore because, oh, that's the other thing. As an RSA, okay, the compensation, I'm gonna say they don't lie about it, but because they tell you straight up what the compensation is like, but they don't really. I feel that there is a lie by omission when they're not realistic with you about what the plans are. They don't ever say to you, hey, the plans that we set for the region for each route are going to be wildly out of pocket. They're going to be like so high. Basically nobody is making money on any of them. You know, like some people do because they get lucky and they have a route that's like pretty choice, or they're just really hard workers. You can't take that away from them. But at the same time, it's just kind of luck of the draw and seniority based. So if you get unlucky, or if you have low seniority, you're just screwed, right? You're just straight up screwed. You're going to have a garbage route, most likely. You're going to be with terrible days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably. And it's just going to be a nightmare, right? This guy's trying to get over. Oh, he's just going to squeeze on it. If you hit my car, bro, I swear to fucking God, bro. If you hit my car, you whole ass idiot. Holy shit. Woo! He almost just hit me with his trailer. I got to get the fuck away from this guy. Oh my God. Dude, what are you doing? Bro, okay, get me out of here. Woof. Jesus. Yeah, anyway. So the way you make money at Frito-Lay is if you hit plan. If you go like 100% to plan. You have to hit 100%. You don't actually start getting what's called a true up, because they don't just give you straight commission, which they used to do, but apparently now they've switched to this performance-based pay, and everybody hates it. The guys who have been there super long are like, yeah, I would leave if I didn't have like a pension and, whatever. I've been there 6 months, and I'm like, I've seen the writing on the wall from kind of day one, but I tried to make it work. Like I said, I've never quit before. It's a new thing for me. So, yeah, I just look at it and go, this is such a bad deal for drivers. Like, you're expecting me basically to work for the next 5 years in low seniority, terrible positions, and just get screwed, right? Like, I've done that dance, you know what I mean? And I don't have time for it. I called my girl. I said, hey, I'm quitting. Holy macaroni, that's a bad accident. Whoa, those cars are mangled. Good Lord, I hope they're okay. Oh my God, they hit a highway patrol car. Holy shit. Whoa, that's a bad wreck. Damn, son. And yeah, you know what? They probably hit it was a Tesla. I'll bet you they were trying to drive in auto mode. And they're doing all this construction out in this area. And it looks like it was one of the CHP cars that's always parked in the 2 lanes that are closed during the night. Wow, I hope those guys are okay. My goodness, that was very bad. Anyway, RSAs. So basically how Frito-Lay pays people. You get a 4-week period, right? Which is pretty common, I guess. For the first 3 weeks of the period, you're paid, the paychecks you collect are as though you are making 93% to plan, right? They just give you pay like that. No matter what you're doing. If you're at 85%, if you're at 120%, they give you 93% to plan. You then get what's called a true-up check. So the 4th week, I think it's the 4th week, or just every 4 weeks, or whatever, they basically adjust your pay that week to reflect what you were actually making. So if you were doing like 101% to plan, all 3 weeks or all 4 weeks or whatever it is, whatever the average is, you then get that money on that last check. But like, to me, I'm like, well, that sucks because you're boosting this check so high, they're just going to tax it into oblivion. Apparently that's also, it's the dumbest freaking way to compensate people. It's so insane. And so for every percentage you're above 100%, they give you like 7% of a bump, right? To your base pay. So like it behooves you to, obviously make and then exceed plan, because it's like cumulative. Like you get more and more money the higher you are above plan, but it's like it compounds, right, by 7% every time. So it's like 101 is 7, 102 is 14, 103 is 21, you get it, 21%, right? So you can make a lot of money, apparently. Some of these guys be taking home checks for like, $110,000, $120,000 a year. They're you're getting that a year. But here's the catch. Let's say you blow up plan, and I've heard this from literally every person who's in the company. If you blow up plan, so you go 120%. There's a dude who's killing it right now. He's making a lot of money. He's doing 120% to plan every week. And this year, he's going to take a good check home, right? A good series of checks. His year's going to be good. The catch is that now when it comes to next year, and I've heard this from every single person, some people have literally quit because they blew up plan, and then the next year they adjusted the plan, and now they can't make any money because the plan's been adjusted to reflect what they did last year, which is like, when I was at UPS, we did that too. The plan's adjusted based on, your performance from the previous year. But my compensation wasn't directly tied to my performance. So you're actively de-incentivizing people from kind of doing more than 101%, because that's generally what people say. Don't go higher than 105, 106. I'm sure there's some people out there killing it. Maybe they get lucky, right? Maybe the plans adjust properly. I don't know. But most people don't try to break plan because they screw themselves the next year. So they try to get a nice, you collect a check this year, but then next year you're not getting dick. And in fact, if you go below a certain point, I think it's 90%, which a lot of people are right now where I'm at, they were where I was at. They're in the 80s. They can take money from you. They can take money. It's are you effing serious? What? It's so crazy. I don't know if that actually happens. I've never had anybody confirm or deny that is what happens. But it said it right in the training material. I'm like, wait a minute, what? They can take money from you? What the hell? It's, God. So, yeah. And there's already multiple people quitting, too. One of the guys who's been there for 10 years. He just put in his 2 weeks, and he's just yeah, I'm done with this shit. It's nuts. So I'm just wow. Yeah, this job is freaking terrible. And all the bosses, I've talked to them. They were really happy to have me because I'm a hard worker, man. I'll give myself that much credit. I'm a really hard worker. And I'm not worried about finding work because I'm going to find it. Especially when I put myself in the position where I don't have a job now. I'm really scared. I really am. But I know I'm going to find work because I'm a really hard worker. People will hire me. I'm charismatic. I'm good with people. I'm good with a lot of different stuff. So I'm not too concerned about that. I'm actually, you see the smile on my face. I'm actually pretty happy that I made this decision because I know it's the right one. It's terrifying, but it's the right decision. Yeah, so 17 minutes. That's a long video. Like I said, I think I'm just making this video for posterity. Maybe I'll post it. I don't know. We'll see. Like a little YouTube video or something and post her on up. See anybody feels me on this craziness. Maybe former FedEx. Well, yeah, man, if you're former FedEx, let me know too, because damn, those guys kind of burned me as well. They just refused to, they said they wouldn't be able to pay me anymore. Then they pay me at the point, because you're one of our highest paid drivers, so we can't pay you anymore. I'm yeah, I'm your highest paid driver because I do the heaviest work and do the best job, and all of my customers love me, and et cetera, et cetera. And you guys can't even hook me up with a cost of living increase. So it's okay, well, I have to find a new job then. I can't just not make money. You know what I mean? It's fair. If I do a good job and I stay there, you should give me a pay raise. That's fair stuff. And they just were nope. Oof, okay. Yeah, there was nothing in particular that, I didn't do, it wasn't my performance got me kicked out or something. It was just they just were no, we just, we're not going to pay you anymore. And honestly, what it was, they would much rather pay a younger guy half as much as they pay me to do the same job. And I'm just from a business perspective, I get it. But as far as I've heard from people who still work there, the guy they hired for me crashed the truck twice and customers hate him. He does a very bad job. I'm just whatever, man. It is what it is. But I don't know. I don't even know if that's true. You know what I mean? But just whatever. Yeah, I can't believe I quit. That's nuts. I've never done that. Not like this. But I'm glad I did because it is an establishment of my self-worth. Something I've been really working hard at, because up to this point, I don't think I've had a good grasp on that. And I realized that I need to find a place to work. I don't have romantic visions about work. It's work. Work is work. You got to work so you pay your bills and eat. which is why I'm really scared right now. Jared, in the future, I hope things are well, because, buddy, we're scared right now. But, you know, I have the love of a good woman and a good family, and, you know, I called her first and asked her what was going on. I told her what I was doing, and she was basically like, thank God you're leaving, and, you know, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, fuck, it's the best woman I've ever, she's the greatest. I'm going to marry this woman. She's the best. Yeah, she's my wife. She just is. I know that. It's crazy. I never thought I would be in that position in my life where I just know that somebody is the one. You know, always thought that stuff was just, it's not for me. And here I am. It's amazing. And I don't think I would have the strength to do this without her, you know, to liberate myself from this nonsense. So I think I'm just going to go probably cook some bacon. I hope you're doing well, future Jared. I love you, man. We're doing this for each other. We're doing this for ourselves. And, yeah, I hope everything's going well for you, brother. This is that quieting of the inner voice that we've been after. Yeah. All right. Love you, dude.